All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym, and the QBO gym is really just a set of numerous exercises that help simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with a new set of exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be focusing in the August cardio section. At the top here is a video that tells you what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is a quiz that talks about what we just watched in the video. And then further down are all of the exercises within that section. So today we are going to be focusing on practicing invoicing and statements. We are going to be in the sample company. You actually need to be in the same session of the sample company that you were in for the warm-ups. If you have not done those exercises yet, go ahead and click on the link up on the top right corner of your screen. That will take you to the first one in the warm-up section. Go through the whole section and then come back to this one. All right, so our scenario today is that Craig asks you to please invoice Amy for the rush fee, as well as send a statement to Sushi by Katsuuki for their remaining balance. So let's see how to do that. Let's start with Amy. If you remember, Amy stopped by Craig's office to pick up salvia plants and paid $78 plus tax in cash. Unfortunately, she didn't realize there was a rush fee, so asked Craig to invoice her later. Craig said yes, and he asks you to invoice Amy's Bird Sanctuary now for a rush fee of $15 on his behalf. So to get started with this, on the left nav bar, you're going to click on the plus new button and then select invoice. Here I am in the sample company. I am on the last page that I was on from the previous exercise in the warm-up section, so that's why it looks this way here. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the plus new button, and then under customers, select invoice. And now we need to start filling it out. So the customer is, of course, going to be Amy's Bird Sanctuary. If you click into this, you will see actually Amy is right there on the top. So go ahead and click on her. So the rush fee that we need to put in the invoice, there is no product service set up for it right now, so we need to create one. So in the product service column, we're going to click into the field and then do the plus add new button. So if you're in here, you're going to click into it and then click it 2 times. And then you can click on the add plus add new, and this information pop-up will appear. Since this rush fee is just an extra fee that Craig will charge for expedited service, we're going to categorize it as a service. So go ahead and click on service. And then to fill it out, we are going to call this rush. So in here where it says name, go ahead and type in rush. We're not going to do a SKU or category here. The description here, we're going to do something a little bit nicer sounding than just rush. Anytime you put something in the description field, when you put that particular product or service in any kind of transaction, it's going to automatically populate whatever we put here in this description. So it's nicer to have something that's a little more customer facing friendly. So we're going to type in the description field, we're going to type expedited service charge. Expedited service charge. Did I spell that right? I did not. Spelling was not my forte, guys. Okay. Expedited service charge. There we go. In the income account, we're going to select fees billed. So leave the sales price rate blank. It may change anytime this is used in the future. So we're not going to have something that's set particularly for this fee, even though Craig has told us it's going to be $15. So wait 1 second and I'll show you what I mean. So in here, go ahead and click in and you can start typing in fees to get fees billed. There it is. Go ahead and click on that. And then we are going to just save and close because we have completed the product service information form. So the green button down here, click on save and close, and you can see that service fee has been saved for us. So here it is for us on the back end. This is what the customer will see, and then our quantity, we're just going to have the one rush fee. In the amount field, we need to type $15. So in the amount field, you're going to do $15, and that has been changed for us. And that was where I was saying, like, if he does a rush fee in the future for like $25, this is already going to be blank, so it just needs to be filled in rather than having something that pre-populates for you. If you notice here, earlier when we typed in Amy's Bird Sanctuary, this little pop-up drawer showed up. And it's just because there's this little extra billable time that is associated with Amy. You check with Craig and it's for a custom design job. And he says not to add it to the invoice, that this would be for something, that would be something for totally different later. So you can go ahead and just click on the Save and Close button. If I could get to it, there we go. On the arrow here, just go ahead and save and close. And that invoice has now been saved. So now let's work on the next invoice. You notice that Sushi by Katsuyuki's most recent check of $50 did not cover the invoice total of $80. This was from a previous warm-up exercise, if you remember. So in addition, there is a second outstanding invoice. So let's send a statement to them to remind the owner that he owes more money. So step one is that we are going to, in the left nav bar, click on customers and leads and then customers. So here, customers and lead, scroll over to customers, click on that. And now we need to find Sushi by Katsuki. So go down, 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 there it is. Go ahead and click into it. And now we need to review his account. So when you are sending a statement, it is helpful to know some information prior to generating that statement. You will need to select the dates of the statement, and so usually you want the statement to include all of the open invoices. So it's useful to note the date of the earliest unpaid statement. So if we look here, if you get any pop-ups like this, just go ahead and click out of them. I also, this little thing here, you can actually collapse it. So if you just click that, that will open up your window a little bit better. And so you can see everything much better. So you see that there are two unpaid invoices here. One that was partially paid, that was the $50 that was applied to it earlier in a previous exercise, and then one that hasn't hit the due date yet. It's due in 2 days. So here you want to take note of what this date is. Whenever you are watching this or doing this exercise, it is going to be a different date than what I have right here. And that's because the sample company is always changing dates. So whatever this date is, I want you to take note for that so that you remember, because you will need it for the next step. Okay, so remember that whatever that date is for you, remember that for the next step. So we are going to click on the New Transaction button and then select Statement. Okay, so New Transaction, click on that, and then at the very bottom, you're going to click Statement. All right. So this statement type, you will see there are 3 different statement types there. The first one that we could potentially use is the open item one, because these are open invoices. But the problem with this is that it doesn't show any kind of history of payments. So that partial payment of $50 that he made earlier is not going to show up here. The balance forward is definitely a much better choice in this situation because it does show this history. Now, when we are going to be looking for them, QBO will default to the prior month, but we want to look at what that earliest unpaid transaction one, that date that I told you to look at and remember. You want to use that particular month to take a look at these set the date range. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. Okay, so let's go back here. Like I said, balance forward is the one to go with. This start date here, click into it, and you can click also into the calendar. Go to the first day of that oldest invoice. So for me on my screen, it was showing that that old invoice was from July 17. So I am going to select on July 1st. And then I'm going to click apply. That way I can see everything come up. It's always good practice to examine the statement before sending it just to make sure that it shows the information that you would like the customers to see. So the way to do this is you would click on the print or preview button. So that is down here. It's this black button. Go ahead and click on that. I'm going to X out of this so I can see the whole thing. And now you can see the invoices that are showing. There's that $50 that was applied that we had before that we had done in the previous exercise. So the total is going to be $110. We were actually able to open it, but if this pops up for you, go ahead and click on the blue open button so that you can see the statement as well. And like I said, the statement is summarizing the status of his account so that he can see Craig's charges and the payments that he made in date order. So he owes a total of 110, and that $30 is past due. So this type of statement serves as a very useful and helpful reminder of an outstanding balance on Sushi by Katsuyuki's account. At this point, you would either print and mail this or you would email the statement after you review it. But in this case, you'd most likely just email it since you have his email address. And you can email it from QBO on the next screen. So let's just go ahead and close out this preview, which you would just do going up to the X there, close that out. And now our final step is that we are going to save and send. So you would click on the save and send button, but we're just going to save and close it for now because in the sample company, you actually can't send statements, invoices, anything like that. So just go ahead and click on the save and close button, which is this arrow right here. And then you click on the save and close. But again, normally, if this was a real life situation, you would absolutely send that statement to a save and send and get that statement on its way. And if you have any questions or want any more information about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. Be sure to leave this session of the sample company open as you will need it for the next exercise in the cardio section, which is all about creating products and categories. And I will see you in that next video.